So here is the W3 Schools website. What you see on your left side is a number of commands that could be used to filter, delete, update, or to actually change your database. And let's start with a simple select query, which is the most used command issue in SQL. For that, go to your example and click on try it yourself. You see a view where you can actually use commands and type commands and as you want. On your right side, you have this nice view of your database and tables you have available to query and do operations against. So this is basically what we have as a database. And your left side, you can issue query statements. Let's just stick with the statement we've been given by default. And let's run this statement and see the results that it retrieved to us. So as you can see, I've got as a response a list of customers that are present on my database. So this is basically what the select query does. So, but as I said, so usually you may just be looking for a more subset of customers or a specific number of customers you want to retrieve. So let's say we are looking for we want to return all the customers that lives in Mexico. So we then could combine the SQL query with the where, and basically the way it goes, I would say select star from customers where country is equal to Mexico. And that should give me all the users, all the customers where country is equal to Mexico. There we go. So now we have retrieved 5 results. So number of records 5. So it basically returned all the users we have, all the customers on our database that lives in Mexico. So the where clause could be combined with in many different ways. For Mexico, I only have users that are on the same city, but say I was looking for users that live in Mexico, but their customer ID is greater than let's say 30, right? In that case, I should receive as a response only 58 and 80. Yeah, unfortunately, done a mistake here. So let's see. So yeah, so as a result, I received 58 and 80. So this is basically how it goes on the SQL select query statements. We have different kinds of queries in SQL. Let's play with, say I want to change a specific user. So his contact name, Guillermo Fernandez, has changed to, say, Guillermo Hernandez. So let's say this customer has changed his name. So the way I should go about that is, so just to mention, if you do dash dash, you are basically making this a command. So say I would like to update. So the way I would go about that is update name of my table, which is customers, and then I say set. I'll set the contact name equals to let's say somebody committed a typo on his name, right? So I would say now his name is Guillermo Hernandez as opposed to Fernandez. And then I have to here use a where, because that's the only user I like to change the name, where customer ID equals to 58. So in the where clause, you could use any identification that would uniquely identify this user I'm trying to update. So for unique updates, you usually will be preferably using the customer ID, which is the unique identification for the user. And that's why I'm using that. But you know, if you don't have the customer ID, let's say you may also use the customer name. The problem of that, if the customer name is not unique, you may update two users, and that might or might not be the behavior you are looking for. So this is how you go about that. So now let's issue a query that update the customer Guillermo Fernandez to Guillermo Hernandez instead. Yeah. Now let's take a look on the select star from customers where customer ID is equal to 58. So basically looking for the user Guillermo and see whether the customer Guillermo and see whether his name has changed. And there we go. So we now have Guillermo Hernandez as opposed to Guillermo Fernandez as it was in the past. So this is a nice way of you looking in your data and also updating that and making changes, inserting new data as required. So let's one more time, let's do a insert command. So say you like to insert something on our user base, on our customer base, then how to go about that, right? So the command we're gonna use to insert new users is to insert new customers is the insert into customers. And now I don't actually need to create a customer ID because a customer ID is a serial variable, so it will be added automatically and will be incremental. So it identifies uniquely a customer, and what it does, it gets the last customer ID available into the database and adds +1. So the new customer that will be inserted on that last position available. So, but then I have to tell a customer name, contact name, an address, a city, postal code, and a country. So here's how to go inserting a custom. Then I'll set the values for this new customer, which are let's say customer name is test name, contact name test contact, address is test address, and then city I can do test city as well, postal code 1, 2, 3, and country test country. So this should insert a new customer into our database. Let's try it out. It tells me that this table doesn't have contact name, it's just a typo here. So fixed, and yeah, so here we go. We have our new customer inserted into our database. If you like to see this being listed here, we could do a select and check whether that particular customer is on our database. How to go about that? I can say select star from customers where customer name is equal to test name. And now we can see our customer has been inserted in our database with customer ID 92 and customer name, contact name, and all the required information into our database. There are plenty of different queries and different things. We won't have time enough to explore all of them. I encourage you to go through some of these queries and try yourself. If you, for instance, would you like to see how an update works, you can always come here and there will be some demo, and there also be some query example on how update works. And say if you like to run this update, you can go and do that. There are quite nice stuff. We will not be able to go over everything in here, but there are plenty of nice stuff for you to review and spend some time on that. One particular session I would I advise you understand is the basics like where, select, and also insert, update. Those basic operations are quite important. And after that, I would also go and take a look on joins and inner joins. This session is also something that's quite important as well. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. So I hope to see you soon on the next video. Bye and thank you.